Man, I can't wait to sell drugs today.
Man, I can't wait to buy some real good drugs.
I need a coffee. It's my first day on the job with the mom.
Hate to be a forensic special.
Stuff. You got the money?
Yeah, I got the money.
Good, where is it?
It's up back.
Hey, what's going on out there?
Good. Okay, we'll head back out there. I got the stuff in my car, okay? I'm gonna head back there and get it.
Alright.
Let's go. This way.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what are you making over there?
Okay, it looks like there could be some shoe prints here that could be from the murderer. We can't really be sure. We definitely have to examine that further. And there's some blood spatter right around here. Not really sure where that's coming from, but it definitely goes back far.
If you look back there, you can see some hair samples. You can tell it might have entered through, it's hard to say, it could have entered through the back or the front. We'd have to examine that in the autopsy.
Okay. Do you want to go and talk to the bystander?
We're going to talk to the bystander and the detective.
Okay, we'll see you.
So, can you give me a retelling of what happened?
I was coming home from work. I walked by, I saw two suspicious people, said hey, and one of them got shot, and I ran.
Did you see anything else? Details? One of the perpetrators besides?
Not a lot, it was kind of far. It was just some guy, like 5'8", Caucasian. I couldn't really tell a lot, he ran. Dark clothes maybe.
Alright. Anything else you can tell us? Details? Maybe any action that was going on? Altercation?
Nothing really besides, like, they were just standing there talking, and then one of them pulled out a gun on them. Didn't really see a lot.
Alright, thank you. We'll call you later for a formal witnessing testimony. So, what you got?
Well, for the most part, what we can see from basis on just sight, we're assuming it's a drug deal. The victim was shot. We found some hair samples, there's blood samples. We also found the murder weapon. But there's not much we can do about if the person was shot in the front or the back until the autopsy's done. But obviously it's a drug deal. This guy, it's probably gang related. We're not exactly sure. But with DNA analysis, we can find out who the female was who was shot. What did you get?
Find out who she is, see if she has any relatives. I'll go call the family. Head down to forensics.
Alright.
Speak up also.
This is where the body was lying. It's in the lab right now.
Okay, so while it's gone, we can do some examinations. Okay, so right here, looks like a shoe print. There is some blood in it, so probably stepped in the blood after it was shot into the person.
Yep, it was shot from the front because the way it splattered out in the back, there was a ton everywhere. You can see by the splatter marks too.
Definitely pulled up a little bit where the gunshot wound was.
Yep, and over here we found some more footprints.
He's probably running away in this direction then.
Yeah.
So it started here. He's probably keeps going that way. So we can examine over there a little bit later.
We found the murder weapon here. He must have tossed it while running.
Yeah, he probably threw it. So he was probably running this way then, and then he would toss it out of his jacket like that.
So he had to be facing the victim when he shot him.
Okay. We'll put that all in the report, and we'll
Yep.
go to the rest of the examination later.
Yep. Examining on the hair follicle, there appears to be like a match with the victim. The structure is the same. Appears to be some drug use. As you can tell, it looks like some sort of methamphetamine. We have another hair sample. It appears to be an unknown hair sample. It could be the possible murderer.
Okay, we'll be sure to include that in the report, because that could be the suspect. And there is also a large paint splotch over here near the bottom of her jacket. It could be from some sort of lab accident that got stained, so make sure we do a test of that.
It could be also, possibly we can find out where she worked or where she's from. She appears to be a lot younger.
Yeah. Judging by the color of her nail paint, it looks like she has not painted them recently. Could be distracted.
Seems to be chipping.
Okay. You want to help me remove the bullet?
Yep. take that to ballistics, have them analyze it, find out what type of gun it is.
Okay. You want to measure the wound, doctor? And it looks like it's around 1 by 1.5. Include that in the report? Okay, let's get a sample of the victim's blood. The blood spattered all around her clothes, and we can use that and match it up against the crime scene to see if we find any matches.
Yep, we can also tell, now that we have the bullet, we can tell where it entered from. It obviously came out on the front, but we're not sure if that's accurate enough.
Okay, I'll take this over to ballistics.
Alright.
So a lot of the questions I ask you now are going to be similar to the questions that I asked you on the scene. It's just procedure. There's going to be a little more detail. First, what's your name?
Melina Eldridge,
What's your age?
26.
And then identify gender, sex.
Female.
Okay, so what were you doing when you spotted the victim and the murderer?
I was coming home from work.
So can you describe any details regarding what you saw happening? What specifically did you think was happening?
As I told you, I was just coming home. I saw two people that looked suspicious, called out, and one of them was shot. That's it. Nothing else said.
So one of them had a gun.
Yeah, like in their pocket, I think. I didn't really see it. They just kind of like push it through like the jacket.
Are there any details that you can tell me about the person with the gun? Like appearance, anything that may be a distinct marking of any sort? Clothing?
Now that I think about it, I think when I saw them running away, their sleeve pulled up and he had some kind of tattoo or something on his inner arm, kind of. I only saw like half of it.
Can you describe what this tattoo looks like?
Not really, just like mostly like blackish.
Are you sure? Any specific shapes?
Not really. It's like only seeing half of it. But I think it was like longer than what the sleeve was showing.
So roughly the size of his forearm.
Maybe, yeah.
Are you sure there is nothing else you can give us beyond?
There is no details. He ran. I couldn't see anything else.
Not much to say. She didn't know the victim. She didn't know the suspect, the one who ran off. There's nothing really much more to say. She just happened to be there.
Here you go, detective. Yeah, I talked to ballistics. They identified the type of weapon that was used in the shooting. Okay, doctor.
Tell me what she has to say.
Well, the victim appears to have a good-sized bullet wound. There's a lot of blood splatter. We found some paint on her sweatshirt. We could assume that it's from work or wherever she did. And you can take a look. The wound is right in here. It's a good size. We got the bullet out. They think it's from a 9mm possibly.
Here is the small paint splatter right over here on the bottom of the jacket. We're not entirely sure what it could be from, but we have some speculations we could talk to you about.
Could be coincidental. Anything more?
Well, the nail polish on her nails, it appears to be fading. Like she must have done it a couple months ago, and from the hair follicle, if you want to take a look, you can see that she was possibly on some drugs. It looks like methamphetamine. It also matches with her. The victim, we had DNA analyzed, and we're coming up with some matches because we found the unknown hair follicle on her body. That's going through the lab right now. We're trying to match it up with possible victims and some possible profiles we came up with.
Anything on the suspect?
As far as we know, he's probably a man between 28, 30, and tall, probably about 5'8", black hair. That's about all I can give you. And most likely, possibly a loner, gang involved. That's all we have. So that's all we can go off of, and we're analyzing the area, what gangs are around there, and the DNA we have matched up, and we're
Well, if
looking
he's
at
part
a
of the
few of them.
gang, or
Yeah.
if he's a drug dealer, we can run his DNA through the system,
Yep,
see if we
we're
can find a
running-
match.
Yes, and we're running the bullet through the system, and we could possibly find out if it's been linked to any other crimes, and if this DNA has shown up in other crimes as well.
All right, good work, team.
Okay.
Alright.
So, found a match yet?
Yes, I did. It is a 9mm bullet. Goes to a handgun owned by a John Doe. The John Doe is not named because I cannot find his name. It seems like the record's been erased. But, in fact, you are correct. The fingerprints do lead to a John Drohan on the weapon found at the scene. And we also found out that the same gun was used in a murder a couple weeks back, and it was related to drug violence. So basically, it was a gang murder.
That may be enough information we can find then. Do you know where we could find it by any chance?
It's unclear. Possibly, it shouldn't be too far from the neighborhood you found the murder, because where the murder was, the gang murder was not too far from it.
Makes sense. We'll check around this
It's in
perimeter.
about a, I want to say like 20, 30 block radius.
Okay, well, I'll send a team out and we'll start the search.
Sounds good?
Thank you. John Drohan, age 23, sex, male. All right, where were you on the day of the 29th?
In the park.
Anything more specific? What were you doing?
I'm home now. It's been around 3 hours and I've been stuck here.
Well, you're currently a suspect to both a murder and drug trafficking.
Who's murdered?
Ashley Anderson, age 26.
Ashley
Also,
Henderson? I've never heard of her.
Anderson. Also,
Yeah.
according to several other of your associates, you've had contact with Ashley Anderson over the past few weeks, so I'd like you to tell the truth, please. Where were you?
The whole truth?
And-
Nothing but the truth. I know. I've been here.
That's fantastic. Now, please actually tell the truth this time. We found your hair at the site in the park by the victim, Ashley Anderson.
How can I explain how I got there? I'm not in charge of my own hair.
And we also found your prints on the gun that matches the bullet used.
I don't even own a gun. It would have been registered by now.
We found the gun was connected to a John Doe, meaning that the gun was probably bought illegally. And, well, considering your affiliation and the DNA that we found at the crime scene, which is yours, and the fingerprint on the gun, which is also yours, it's safe to make the conclusion that the main suspect and possible murderer is you. Now, I suggest you should probably get a lawyer at this point. Well, I'm assuming your client has told you everything about the situation.
What?
Can you repeat that, please?
I'm assuming that you told your lawyer everything about the situation,
Yeah, and even the fact that I'm not guilty.
aside from the fact that all of our evidence against you is pretty much damning.
You have no evidence.
Show me this evidence.
Here's the evidence you asked for.
Thank you. Perfect timing. As you can see, this is from ballistics.
This isn't fair.
This is an eyewitness testimony. And finally, the evidence of your DNA, which matches both the fingerprints on the gun that we found and on the hair that was found on the victim.
That could have been planted. You don't know.
I'm pretty sure unless you pulled your own hair out of your head and planted it, I highly doubt that you... I highly doubt that.
Look, I already said I was in the park that day, okay? It could have blown out of my head and landed near that dead lady.
That would be highly coincidental.
Why don't you stop talking right now so you don't incriminate yourself anymore?
Look,
How many years has he been being charged with?
this aside, we've also connected you to another crime scene. 3 people were found dead.
Like you
Now,
people don't stop.
Normally, you'd be either given the death penalty or you'd be given a life sentence in prison. However, I'll make you a deal on this one. He admits guilt, and we'll give him 50 chance of parole, and I will take off the death penalty. I will give you time to look over the evidence and discuss this amongst yourselves.
Thank you.
This shit's made up.
Look, let's just take the deal, okay? It's gonna be great if you just take the deal because you have a chance for parole, you're not gonna die, it's only 50 years.
I'm not going to jail. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. Call her back in here.
We're ready.
Take your crap back. I'm not going to jail. I'm innocent.
We'll see you in court.
All right, then. It's your funeral.
Okay. How did that case work out?
Oh, it worked out great. He was caught guilty, 50 years to life.
Really? Death penalty?
They're thinking about it. You know how the system works.
Yeah. How'd the evidence work out in court?
It was incriminating. They
Really?
couldn't find any way to find him innocent.
Good to see finally see that piece of garbage squirm.
Oh,
Have a
yeah.
good day.
You too.